Okay, so I got one more rig here I want to do, and then I'm gonna stop doing these for a little while. Actually, I gotta organize a few things. Got the do not touch group, God control. Okay, I might even take this God control thing here, and I'm gonna put that onto its own layer. Control underscore layer, great. So that's easy to hide. These things in the do not touch group, I'm just going to hide those for now. Okay, and let's go right in here, and I'm just going to go view, default view, boop, come on. It says alt home, but I can never make that work. I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to create another controller here. Let's go NURBS circle. And just for fun, let's get the create CV curve tool. I'm just going to hold down X and I'll start drawing here, there. 1, 2, put a couple on that spot there. Enter. Okay. So now I've got this curve and I've got this circle. I'm going to do an evil little trick. If I hold down Shift and I select the circle and I grab the transform node of the curve and I go down here to the mail and I type in parent -S space -R and I hit enter, I can put two shape nodes onto one transform node and I can get rid of that. And now we're going to call this I underscore control. And you can still see that it, I'll delete the history on this just to get rid of the other thing there. It still didn't quite do exactly what I want. I'm just going to copy that and I'll just go here and Control V. So let me do that. There. I shaped 0 and 1. Okay, great. Whatever. That worked just fine. Okay. And let's bring back my control layer here. And I'm going to take this and with the rotate tool, I'm just going to hold down J, rotate it up 90 degrees, rotate it 90 degrees this way too. Pull it up here. And it depends where I want to put this. Maybe I'll put it somewhere behind the head. Something easy to select. Okay, you got to figure out for yourself which way you want to go with this. Typically, if you're looking at your eyes, maybe I'd have it this way. Okay, make it big enough that you can see. Let's see what it looks like with the geometry, which is a bit high. Maybe I'll pull it down here. Okay, let's kill the history, freeze the transformations, I control. So, the other thing I need is I need some kind of interest. So, let's just get to the side here. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to get the create CV curve tool. And what does this guy like? He likes fish. Everybody likes fish. So I'm going to use those as the eye interest. Okay, good enough. Something like that. I'm going to center my pivot. Okay, and it's out from the eyeballs here. If I wanted to, I could probably bring this back, and if I go into, let's go into wireframe, I'm just going to move it up so it's like parallel with the center of the eye. There, should be good. I'll freeze it out, and then I'm going to pull it forward. Okay, and I can freeze it again, and I'm going to call this I underscore interest underscore group. Oh, no, this isn't a group. This is just a I interest. Okay, great. Now what I want to do is I'm going to group it, Control G, and I'll group it, and I am going to take that group, and we are going to pull it up. So if I hold down D, I can pull it up so I can see it in my head here. I just pulled up the y-axis. If I hold down D, I can pull it over here. Let's try and get it right between the eyes. If I hold down D and V and I grab it just in the z-axis here, and then just in the y, done. And this is going to be my I interest underscore GURP. Great. Okay. And so this is going to control my eyes. So what I've done is I've kind of taken two different ideas about controlling eyes and put them into one. In order to see the eyes working properly, I'm just going to take these two and let's just quickly throw in a material on these. And I'm just going to go in here to color and I'm going to map it with a ramp so that you can see what the hell I'm doing. Where's my ramp? There. Let's presets rainbow ramp, and I'm going to change that from a V to a circular. And if I hit 6, do I see anything? I do. Okay. Okay, let's take that green one and we'll make it black. Okay, and I can stick in more of these, whatever. Good enough. Just so you can see what the hell I'm doing. And these aren't totally centered, but they're pretty close. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to make it so that these eyes stare at this. So I'm going to take this thing, and I select the eyeball, and I'm going to go constrain. This is pointing in the Z-axis. I'm going to use the aim constraint, and there's the aim vector is sitting at 0 in X, 1 in Y, so I'm going to zero that out. I'm going to put it to 1 in Z, and I'll hit apply. Bloop. I'll do the same thing over here. Grab this one, hold down shift, grab that, apply. Now, the eyes follow this controller. Okay, that's cool. Let's go and get the hypershade out or hypergraph out for this one. Now, I don't really like this controller. This is kind of good for doing these kind of things and stuff like that. Okay, great. Just along the Z-axis, but I find this troublesome to move around. So what I like to do is grab this controller, hold down shift, and I'm going to grab the eye interest group, and I'm going to go constrain orient. So now whenever I select this and I rotate it, it moves this around from the center of the eyes. I find that much more easy to control. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this controller, I'm going to go modify, add attribute, and I'm going to call this focus. There, focus. I don't care about minimum and maximum values, just don't care. Then I'm going to go to Window, General Editors. I'm going to go into the Connection Editor. I'm going to select this object, and I'm going to grab its focus. And I'm going to grab the eye interest group, load it into this side. Actually, I want the eye interest, load it in. And I'm going to be looking for its translate. So there's the translate, and it's going to translate along Z. Those are now hooked up. So whenever I take this and I go focus, whoop, I can move it backwards and forwards there. Wonderful. And I don't even have to see this thing. I can just hide it. Now when I take this, I move it around. It controls where the eyes are looking. And I can also focus them. This controller here, this one, actually both of these, well, this one here should be parent to the head controller, so P. So it's parented in. So whenever I move this around, boop, boop, boop. Okay, great. And you can see a problem there, the eyes didn't follow. The eye interest group, this has got a constraint on it. I need one more group on this thing. And I'm just going to take that group and I hit center pivot and see where did it go. It's still sitting at the bottom, of course. I'm just going to see if I can move the pivot point up. Let's hide the body, put in the joints, skeleton layer, hide the body. Okay, so I got this, hold down D and V. I just like to, there, that seems better to me. And I'm going to take that one, grab this head joint, grab this group, and I can constrain that. I'll do a parent constraint, and now they should follow along. Okay, check this out. When I grab the head controller, okay, and this thing, when I rotate around, the eyes follow. Okay, we got one more problemo, and the last problem is those freaking eyeballs. Where are they? Just gonna take. There's the shirt and the pants. I'm going to put those in my geometry group. And there's my two eyeballs. And let's just hide the geometry again for a second. I'm going to take the two eyes. I'm going to group them. And I'm going to move their pivot point to the same spot here on the joint. And I can call that the eyeball group or whatever I want to. I'm going to select that joint first. I can see the group sitting right there. And if I go in and I give that a parent constraint, boom, now they're following along. Let's bring everything back and double check and make sure I'm not lying to you. Whoop, there. Now it moves everything around, and holy cow, that's the rig, man. That's the freaking rig. And I think the only other thing I gotta do is blend shapes. I'm gonna save that for a bit. I think this is plenty to try to figure out. Oh, maybe, what else did I organize here? Skeleton group, we've got the Geo group, we've got the God control, I got the Do Not Touch group. This thing could probably be a member of the Do Not Touch group. Leave it alone! I could also go in here and grab the God control, and if I grab the skeleton group and I do a constraint, I can do a scale constraint. And I can also grab the God control and hold down shift and grab the Do Not Touch group and put a scale constraint. Don't do it to the geometry group. Now whenever you grab the God control and you scale it, whoop, makes your character bigger and smaller. We do have a problem with the eyeballs. So the eyeballs, it looks like I do have to do the same thing. So God, Geo group, constrain, scale. I don't think that will actually, does that do anything bad? And we got problems here. You know what? I have to do it to, don't do it here. Get rid of that. It's got to be this and the eyeball group. Do I have to put another group on these things? Let's see what happens. They follow along. So I just did it just on the eyeball group and everything worked fine-ola. Okay, and that's it. Stop!